Okay. Looks like we're live. Good evening, everybody. This is Studio 10 Broadcasting, 10 o'clock talks. It's our Friday. Let me get my volume adjusted here for everybody. Get some volumes. All right. Just verifying the live. You know how that works, and there we are. Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome and to 10 o'clock talks America in crisis. Wow, what news isn't bad news? I mean, really, did anybody get any good news today? Do we ever wake up to a good day? All right, so here we are in the US of A. Big talks in Washington and within the White House. Big considerations of the soldiers to step into Poland. That are in Poland to step into Ukraine. Wow, nothing like going 5 seconds and failing. Nevertheless, yeah, so that's kind of the big talk right now. Um, let's just keep bringing up the narrative to keep people focused elsewhere. And that's what we're up to. That's what they're up to. And here we are fighting that battle. In Australia, I believe it was, there was a front page news article about Hunter and some of his laptop doings with younger ladies. Keep that in mind. Look for it, research it. I also want to talk a little bit about this. Maybe something good will happen for some people out there, these essentials who worked diligently for everybody through this whole, the big P and more. So now some states are looking into how can we make things better for the workers. And, when it comes to waiters and waitresses, there's a very bad line there. This is the worst gray area it could be, but maybe some light at the end of the tunnel for these workers. I mean, you have to realize they come up, they wait on you, they try to greet you with a smile, try to do all the right things for you, and people leave without tips. They don't even tip them. Now, you're judged on your tips and your wages. And now, what it seems that a lot of states are going to try to do is weigh a different factor into this. And if you don't make so much money through an evening, then they're going to try to now start introducing legislations for laws that say that the businesses have to pay fair minimum wage practice scale. So, what will that be? $15 an hour? In some cases, some people do really well. In some cases, things are not so well. So that would be a great place for husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends who are in the food management and waitressing scenario. Uh, and it's needed. It's needed. If you hear some of the stories that come through to me, how people just walk out, they don't even pay, or they don't leave a tip. They sit there for 2.5, 3 hours, taking up the table. They want you to keep coming back with coffee. Hit the coffee, get this, more water, no tip. Totally uncalled for. And it does affect people's energy to want to come to work and deal with life and everybody out there. So now you have that scenario going on. But one of the better things about it is, if states do get behind the workers, these types of essentials, as I said, these food scenario businesses were open through the whole pandemic. A lot of people didn't make very good money at all. They found themselves more on unemployment than anything else or in any other place else. So now that they're back to work, they're finding out that what is it like in Pennsylvania here? I think it's like 275, 285 an hour, something weird like that. Some businesses are trying to give them somewhat of a raise at $5, but these people are, they're there for 8 to 10, sometimes doing a double shift, 12 hours, a little bit more. And they're really not making any money. So that would be nice to see a mandatory um, minimum wage of some sort place for these kids to do things like that. And as well, husbands and wives who have secondary jobs and more. So yeah, that would be a great thing. A hundred, 100,000 to 1 million people to now start infiltrating the United States of America. Where do these Ukrainians go? And a lot of them have family in America, and I know a lot of people are going to want to see their family and offer their homes. I guess we're going to have to make room for more, and there's no choice in the matter. In war, there's many things that we all talk about and discuss. That things like this happen, and none of us want to see anybody in a place that they have nowhere to go, and millions of people are leaving. We're what, like, into the 30th day of all this, and this war, and there's a lot of different narratives, a lot of different layouts, a lot of different thoughts as to the truth and narratives of what we're seeing. But fact is, there are going to be a lot of people, and it's probably not going to end just with this. I would say we're probably going to see more issues like this to come, same as we have at our open border. So whether legally coming in, or because it's necessary to bring them in, or they're invited in through narrative, it's going to take from us, the American people, your jobs, um, vacant apartments. It's going to even create a more of a demand for need. You'll see the government step in and probably help the scenario for the others coming in than they will for the American people. So anyway, you got to give prayers to the people that deserve them, that are in the middle of this. And I personally don't like to see anybody become homeless. See homeless all throughout the United States of America, and nobody ever does anything for that or for them. However, this will be a little bit different of a scenario. And I know this is probably nothing new to anybody. I've been out all week working, and this is the Friday night edition. Again, I am your host, Michael Anthony. And thanks for jumping in. I hope we can get some comments in here, and we'll give a couple shout outs live. Jeff Strong, hey, how are you, brother? Beth McCord is in, and I would expect that. She works behind the glass with me and tries to share out to everybody. uh, Eric McCarthy, how are you guys? So we have a couple people. That's okay. Now you have to understand, we can hit we can. Well, this is what I've been finding out. We can hit between you guys and what we do near 175 to 200 shares, and I get 38 views. What's going on here? It's, well, you know what it is. They're suppressing, they're shadow banning, and they're trying to stop people from, I guess, watching what we all do and what we all talk about and what we want. All right, so oil productions in the United States. We can go back over that smoking gun, I guess, forever and ever. And the United States, we must take for granted also that Alaska plays a big part to that. And there is a lot of good fossil fuels there and throughout the Americas, but we're not getting the right counter actions from the administration, Biden administration. So, this week it was talked about, that Putin is at fault. It's all Putin, and it's not. We know we can reflect back and see where this all started, why this all came about. We're not blind to the fact, and we shouldn't be blind to it. And we need to stand up as hard as we can and hold the line to this stuff. But again, it's up to our elected officials to step in and try to do more. I I want to take my hat off to the truckers as well. But I don't see where anything helped in that narrative. And I'm not against what they did. I maybe just the wrong timing, and it would have had a better reaction. They met with people, it didn't get any better results. I don't know if anything that and demands that were made by the truckers did anything happen good? What came out of it? I still think if they would have went to the border, we'd have got a two for deal. Truthfully, it might have slowed down the entry into the United States. Word would have got back across into Mexico that you got 100,000 trucks over there and people, and it's going to be really hard getting through. And not only that, that would have probably put a media frenzy in place, but it didn't work out that way. And I don't know exactly what the gain was, but I can tell you the poor truckers now um, are being replaced by the railroads. All right. They're adding trains, they're doing deliveries, they're doing things to keep uh, the process of essentials moving and more. So, what will be the end result for some of these great American people who wanted to stand up for us? Again, this is the place, this is America, this is the fight that we're in. We have a good narrative. It doesn't always come out with a good result. But all we can do is continue to try to fight. Pandemic relief funds. I don't know if any of you guys heard how many billions of dollars are still left aboard out there on this. I mean, unused money, just laying. Excuse me. And this all came from Trump. This is money that goes back that far, and states are just holding on to it. Well, a couple states that do really well decided, I'll build a hotel from it. They're putting people to work, and they're gaining something for their state from it. It doesn't make sense to the White House, of course, but it's what in some cases are the best anybody can do. So, we need to just keep it that way for now. All right, so we got a comment or something here. All right, let me see. What's going on, everybody? Good evening to you. Uh, anyway, long day for Michael. I can tell you that, man. Really was a long day for Michael. Hope everybody had a great day and you're eating well. I see people are out to dinner tonight. I'm getting hit with mail right there. And then I just got one from a friend that says we had the worst day ever. Shares are going up, thumbs are going up. Thank you for that. I don't see the comment right now. Hey, Jeffrey's in. How are you, brother? Hope Pops is okay. And get ready to get those cars out, brother. Get those vintage cars out. All right, let's continue here. Yeah, fixing stadiums with pandemic funds. Okay, but I don't understand it exactly. No new affordable housing. Nothing can be affordable either. I mean, now we have global catastrophes with dozens of tornadoes devastating dozens of states. Um, wow, New Orleans again. This is a threefer. I mean, Jesus, what these people have not been through. Now, here's I don't know. The worst case scenario is demands for supplies. That's like gonna put. Wow, you think the economy and prices are high now and shortages? Man, if you need something for your house, you better go get it now. I mean, truthfully, because look at all the people. I mean, we got thousands of people that need to rebuild homes. All right. So, where's that going to put us in this disaster? And I do want to talk more about the climate. I want to get into doing that, but this is not the time or place right now, except for the fact that I don't agree with much of what I see of natural events. I just don't believe it, not at all. But I'll get into that another point in time. I also want to send out a couple hellos to some friends out there: Bill Rigby, Dave Parker, Beth, of course, Eric, Jeff, and Jeffrey. We've got a couple different ones in there, and just some friends. Also, Tina. Who has a show that I do some sharing with there, and they've been trying to get us some more attention here at the Studio 10 Broadcasting. Um, you know, again, I come out here on Fridays. I'm angry. I'm pissed off, just like everybody else, and I'm looking at all the focus points of what's going on in the world, and there's just nothing better about it. What's this end result? And will we have an end result, or will we just continue to see worse? I think you'll have to take C. We will continue to see worse, and they like keeping us there because we have to weigh a strategy of things and threats that are possible now, and not just possible to harm the United States, but to also possibly harm and create catastrophic issues with extraordinary weaponries. And that does worry me. And I worry for the children and I worry for your families. I really do. And I say that from deep within because to me, it's, it, you know, I understand the purpose here. with Putin. I really do. Look, Larry, so anyway, I'm going to jump off that because I'm going to come back to it. I have a couple other narratives I want to go into. Something that's really pissing me off is the fact that, you know, your elect and I talked about this, but your power system, in your home, your bill, your money, the cost, the drinking water. Is it really drinking water? This is one of the things. You know, you can pour a bucket of pour water into a bucket, let it sit there, come back. The water, it's like brine, or you know what I mean. To change this colors your. This is what they're telling us to drink. This is what we pay for. This is the best they can do, right? This Build Back Better. I mean, to give us an essential that we all need, but we don't get it. No, they tell you you're being billed for it, including maintenance fees, line fees, even if you have your own well. I mean, you know, are you any better off? I don't know. But when we are paying a city service for a service, it makes you wonder how safe is it truly? And you know, I know we're not getting the best in America by far. And I believe in my mind that they're addressing a lot of the wrong things. But it doesn't have to be uh, for them a purposeful repair. They'll call it infrastructure and building back better and all these different narratives. But yet we still got the same piss poor quality water coming into our homes that you drink with, you cook with, you make coffee with. And I'm telling you, they're poisoning you because they're not even, I mean, quite honestly, they're putting more chemicals in this water. And then you have added chemicals from everything else. Okay, there's a whole bigger picture here of uh, of contaminations getting into our water systems and soils and so forth. And just remember, you know, it's a circulation here. It really is. You would hope that they would direct sewage to a different place or a different off-world planet, but they don't. They take it and put it right back into your rivers and so forth, and what they consider our freshwater resources. Okay, and we really don't have freshwater resources, and yet they charge us for it. They claim that they're doing the best they can, but it's not never going to be good enough. It doesn't hold up to any type of safety standard as they lead you to believe. Anyway, so yeah, now again on the tornadoes and products and supplies and shortages, and now not only that, I'm just waiting for it, and I know it's going to happen. Uh, the call out for some of these areas to be deemed dangerous living zones, and they're going to look into that. And they'll stop a new type of infrastructure that's good for America or good for America with a Build Back Better plan that would benefit people. No, they're going to just tell you that they're going to zone us, and when they zone us, these morons, they're going to try to push us into other narratives of other places. So, anyway, for whatever it's worth, that's where we'll be in my mind. What else we got here going on? The chip shortages are back where you would think they would be. No one's manufacturing them. There's an excuse for everything, or a design for everything as it happens, we'll say. And then we had this emergency meeting in NATO that was underway in way that Joe went to. And to me, it's all damage control. Where was it? Brussels or one of those places? I'm not 100% sure. I didn't follow it all the way to get all the tunes out of it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be anything we'll agree to. It's going to fit what they need, because if they're threatened, if this one world order is threatened, they're going to fight back. This is what that meeting was called for. They're just using Biden as a dummy goat, and that's the truth of the matter. Um, we can call it what we need to, I guess. All right. I don't know if anybody saw though, and I do say that there's some credible things out there that we need in different ways. Um, Elon Musk unveiled his space age electric Model M crotch rocket motorcycle. Now I get it. Some things like this would be really cool for people to have fun on and utilize to get to work here and there. I can remember when they took them off the streets. They said, "Hey, things can't even be on the streets." They pushed people out of business who were selling them, and it's a fact they did it. Now all of a sudden, it's the remedy, it's the cure. And I'm not trying to dog on Musk. Maybe he's trying to put out something better there. China did it first. Remember that. There's no joke to that. China was way ahead of this. They were called the freedom scooters and some other ones that they had out there. And again, fun, enjoyment, stuff for kids. I get it. But I don't think that anybody's going to get really long term use out of anything. And it will be very costly as well. You know, if we were all to switch to an electric car, an electric bike, our power grid couldn't. And so just remember what we're adding into the power grid here that's already failing. Okay, just keep that in mind. Will these windmills be able to create enough that they're talking within the Green Deal? They'll be able to do it for us. I don't know, but I can tell you if we get into this, our power grid is going to be working 3 times harder than it ever did. And then you have hot weather conditions and air conditioning systems at home, and older people that need things like that need to stay at moderate temperatures to, stay healthier. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. And a lot of failures are going to come from it. And I'm sure they'll do damage control the best they can because that's their narrative to take us to this point. So money can make more money. And that's where they want it to be. So we'll have that going. All right. So Obama's popularity falls even more. They're trying to say that this jackoff was like 49%. I can remember when we were reporting and we were getting this direct from media that he was at 39. I was coming up with 22. And if he's falling more and we take a collective narrative into this, he's probably, in the teens, if anything, because I do think that, people of America who needed a rest, that took a break, that now is coming back. They're up in arms about everything that they're dealing with and that they know they're going to deal with. And then you have remarks come out of this jackoff's mouth that be prepared for food shortages. Is he referring to the fact that Russia provides certain things to the United States because they stand out in things that they produce, just like some things we do in the United States? Maybe we're bigger on broccoli and lettuce and potatoes here. Well, they do maybe wheat, oats, barley, etc. What was he referring to? He's just conditioning us for a warning of what's to come, and he's blaming the blame will fall on Putin. Listen, our United States government has been buying up and not just farms and land, utilizing the Gates Foundation, China, and more to do this, to dissolve farmers, to create a different narrative of creativity, whatever the hell that really may be. We still don't know, but it's said to be and has to do with maybe placements for homes and so forth, territorial homes. And on another fact that we can look into, it talks much about in the Gates plan to do more on plant-based foods. And then we have the other version of what they consider now new cloning. So protein clonings of meats, 4-legged chickens, 2-headed cows. I mean, but all these things. I don't understand the cloning process being better than the natural process that the farmers were trying to use and give us the best qualities in meats possible. But science and technology, and you must ask yourself, when is when too much? And that is the fact of it. Anyway, so I can't believe for a minute under this administration that he's anywhere near 47%. I mean, it's just, we now know when they were talking numbers about everybody that got punched in their arm, they had this incredible number thing out there. We're over 50%. We're over 60%. That's all been a lie. We're in the 30s. And that's the truth. That's the true narrative of how many have, got slammed in the arm. But nevertheless, so here we are, 47%. And I'm doubting it by far. I'm saying it's like that's 20% too high, 25% too high, without a doubt, because that's not what statistics are showing us. But this is the narrative of the media. And Madeleine Albright, the most evil woman on the planet that worked for all these people, they're now initiating this one world order government program, just like Bush did, old man Bush, and such a beautiful woman. There was nothing beautiful about this lady. I guarantee you, she was doing all these dictations back, giving and receiving back to the presidents and more. And we know it. We know it. Even Eisenhower said we needed to be fear warned of the corruption that we were about to encounter in the United States. And also Reagan said it. How many warnings did we need? Kennedy said it. This has been an ongoing battle for everywhere, yeah, through everywhere. But you get it. It's been an ongoing battle for us, and we've had many warnings. And many of us, if I guess, if it didn't phase us at the time, we didn't bother to listen to it any further, and neither did most of our politicians. And you have to understand that's a corruption zone. It doesn't matter left or right. The truth of the matter is, when people go for a position of leadership, um, something's always expected back when you're given funds to help, you know, get you there. Now, if you get there and we give you $100,000, what are you going to do for us? That is the whole secret behind where the corruption really starts. That's where corporate, and that's how corporate gets the right people into the place that they want. They plant the money with those that'll make the agreement for them and gives them their money back another way. We'll give you it up front, not a problem. We'll give you it up front, not a problem. And that puts you in another place. It's just like banking and a systematic banking of a stock. You become a stock to these people when you become invested to accepting money from corruption like this, okay? Because you owe them something back. And everyone out there, left and right, nobody's running on their own ticket. They're coming on Facebook. Hey, can you give $5? Can you give $10? Well, maybe there are some good guys out there like Kennedy and more. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and that's how it works. Same with banking. And if anybody ever told you, if you would have took $150 out of every one of your paychecks, say you made 1,000, you took 150 out, and you did that for 30 years, you'd be a millionaire. And that would have just been putting it into the banking industry, not now as it sits, but during a good period of time. If we had done that, same with this, another narrative of a look around. If you were to do a 30-year mortgage and your mortgage payment's $2,000 a month, okay, so you pay them the $2,000 a month. I'm sorry, $1,200 a month for 30 years. For 15 years, $2,000. But in fact, if you would have actually went to the 30 years and said, well, I'm going to go for the lower points. I want to transition into the 15 years. I'll pay it off sooner. But it all depends. How smart were you by doing that if you did do it? Because let's just say that you had that 30-year, $1,250 mortgage payment. You may have had $700 that you could have invested that $150 with and had more control of your own dollar and never being dictated to on how to use it. Remember, once you have a contract, that contract dictates to you. It's a dictatorship. Endorsement of contract. That's exactly what it is. And it says that you promised to do this, that, and the other. So they have money to make money on you. And that's how it works. Even in this dark age that we are in, we still make no money. If you put $1,000 into a bank account 7 years ago, and I know this for a fact because I just had to do a release of security deposit on a property, it made $7. No joke. $7. All the time it laid there, they used that money and they banged on it. And they're doing that to all of us in many ways. They utilize our own money and we get into this pipe dream that something better is going to come. And it's not. It's your actions that will make you stronger and richer, especially now. But can we trust anything now? That's the global problem. Stock markets are flattening out, constantly falling. They'll jump for a moment. And again, part of the Fed. And the Fed expect that to change a lot of the narrative, and it will put us into a housing crash again. We experienced it after 9/11. We're going to experience it after this. And this wasn't even a tragic event. It was just a bunch of assholes getting into the White House, creating a new event. So that goes to tell you, creations of ideas and designs leads to this. So you got to know how to have your money make money for you. And at this point in time, if it's cheaper and easier to just pay a reduced number for more years, and you're young enough to accept that, keep your own money in your pocket. Unless you think those 15 years will fly by like that and you made huge gains from how you interacted with your own money, you get where I'm going with that. But it does work like that. And that's the place you need to stay concentrated and Concentrate on and focus within. That's the best things you can do. Rich Lopez is in. Hey, James is back. You out of prison, brother? I hope you are. Always good to see James, man. God, it's been a while, brother. I have seen you here and there. I just been busy. My apologies to you. But yeah, Madeline Albright. You know, let's just hope that the dirt accepts her, because I don't. When dirt won't accept her, you'll see bodies rising out of the ground on some of these people. There was an old saying years ago, from the old Catholic women: if you were bad, your hand will stick out of the grave when you die, and all this bullshit. But that was their belief. That was their belief. Maybe it's true in some ways. Maybe it's true. Now check this out, and this is what might be a really good analogy. Suddenly, just suddenly, only one airline's called Alaska. Wow, Putin wants Alaska, minerals in Alaska, oils, gas, resources. Pretty impressive. But check this out. Flight attendants now just got their pays all doubled, and in some cases tripled. Wow, phenomenal stuff. Only needed in one area of Alaska. Be prepared, Alaska. You'll probably be working overtime to be bringing in a lot of people who don't speak English quite well. There's always a narrative behind the punch. I'm telling you, it really is. It's another sucker punch. And I'm sure that these things have taken place like that because these people are going to have to be working their butts off, doing a lot of trips, a lot of overtime. And I don't know if there's a logbook to all that and how it works for stewardesses versus pilots. But I guarantee you, no one's going to check anything. No one will check anything because the controllers are controlling. And yeah, so anyway, what's on everybody's mind tonight? Does anybody got any comments? Anybody? Yeah, I don't know. All right, so it is what it is. DeSantis keeps forward in his fight back as well. And this guy, when has he not been a rock star? He's still fighting for gender fairness. And I know it has to do with the swim thing. I did it too. I said what I could say because I'm not for it. Everybody deserves fairness for, and what they work for, in ways that they want to achieve. And it's just not by swimming. It could be for a job. It could be for whatever. And you got to keep it out of the schools and colleges without a doubt. And I'm glad that he's standing up on all the fairness, and he's very vocal about it, and we all hear him. I mean, really, I think we're at a place now that we need to start making a deep consideration for a second ulterior motive on our side of a candidate, if it ever would become necessary. I think we just need to stack our cards and place the deck in the right way. Because we always need a backup plan. If we learned anything, a backup plan is the best thing we can do for each other right now. And that's the best narrative that we can have. I know it may hurt somebody's feelings. It may hurt one's feeling. It may hurt many's feeling. And I'm not trying to take anybody out of the equation here. All I'm saying is it's the place we're in. And if you don't feel that yet, then you're just not all the way awake. You can say it, but you're not. The only way to stop this divide is for us to always have a backup plan for any plan that we do have. Make sure that we have something else in place to keep strength on our side and victories on our side. Christy Nome, another name that came up about keeping CRT from her colleges. And then you have Abbott, who fights back on the illegals and all these drugs. And now if you even deal them and somebody dies, you're on murder charges, and then the tornadoes hit. I'm just saying, I don't know if it all goes together totally. I don't. But it's really funny how when Texas stands up for good things, that devastational things occur there. And it's a fact. It's a fact. It's an attack back on the state, the people, the government, the people who want a different narrative because we just don't agree with these idiots up in Nancy Land at the circus. And then we have this again, and maybe this is the true blame. The solar vortex is failing, and you have been warned. Okay. The say, if we scare you, you'll allow us to use our shit more. And they do every day. Just keep looking up. I mean, it's a fact. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And it seems the blue states dodges most of whatever weather events are occurring. Has anybody looked at that part of it? I know I talk a lot about it, and I really do want to do the climate thing. I want to slam these jackoffs as hard as I can and really try to wake up some more people out there of how devastating this formula is that they are arrow spraying over our heads. And remember, it's coming down over us everywhere, on your home, in your water resources. Your animals are ingesting it. If they go outside to eat grass because they know how to deal with an upset stomach by finding something that says, hey, whatever I'm smelling is making my stomach feel better, I'm going to eat it. Because they just know it's an instinctive thing. Well, they're ingesting all this stuff. It's changing every fiber of humanity and more. And more, without a doubt. I can't wait to talk about it. So, is truly the solar vortex failing? I talk about this on my American Disclosing Uncensored. Not by everything we know. We're just going through a time, and they're utilizing their time in this new Aquarius to like say, hey, it's going to be like this if we feed the narrative and keep fear as strong as we can at the top and the focus. We can screw these people over. And guess what? You ain't even got to get into bed with these people. You'll feel their screws, and it didn't even all happen yet. The only thing that hasn't happened that would wake up every entire person on this planet if our money just vanished again, like it did in the United States in the Great Depression. If that day would come forth, and you're worth a couple $100,000, if you're worth $10,000. Today, people live paycheck to paycheck. That's how bad things truly are. But there are some people that work their asses off to make $500,000-$600,000 as a nest egg. Okay. And it could be gone by tomorrow. Have you tried to go to the bank and say, I want to switch my funds to another bank? Well, we'll give you a piece of paper. I don't want paper. I want what I put in, paper money. No. It's not going to happen. We'll give you a certified check. What good is a certified check? I mean, think about it. It's only a value written on. It doesn't even have to be. Does check mean check? Does it really? It's only somebody saying that this guy claims he has this, and we're saying that we back that. And you can put it here and switch the figures from our banking system into your banking system. But the truth of the matter is, once you hand your cash over, um, it's different. It is. And is that what it would take for everybody to come jumping into the fight? For everyone to lose money? And then you have morons. I watched a couple of videos out there. They blew me the frick away. These kids screaming on the microphone, crying on the microphone, and addressing the fact that Klaus Schwab said, and this date, this time, you will have nothing. You will be happy. And here's that money thing. That's exactly it. And he said this. He said, I would be happy with nothing. So what does it all mean? People's eyes, many of them will never open up. They just will not open up. They're blinded by something that they think is more equal. And there's no such thing as equal if you work harder than somebody else, or you made a smarter buy than somebody else because you read that a Corvette will have a better resale value in 30 years than a Corvair or a Chevette. So the guy who paid the same money for this car versus that car versus this car winds up getting all the money. And that's how it works. And you don't deserve to have that. That doesn't put you in a different place for a rainy day. It's mind blowing. But this guy was up there and it blew my mind. He's got on a blue Biden shirt. He was physically crying, screaming. I never seen a bigger asshole in my life. Okay. But he was there. And I would let that thing go viral. It was the biggest ass to come out since 2021, besides Joe Obama, without a doubt. But here's something everybody's going to like. I believe that you will like this. No joke. And maybe you guys can tell me. A 4-day work week. It's now being pushed. They wanted to go through it in legislation. I wish they'd have done it when I was had a job for a paycheck. But 4 days a week, 32 hours, that's it, and that's going to be considered a full time employee, full time labor. It qualifies you for everything, including pensions and more. Just to lighten up the load on everybody, so you feel that you're getting a better value in the economy for your buck when you earn it. It changes nothing. It changes nothing. Just because you work less, you're going to say, oh, I work 32 hours. I still got the same money. Yippee. Guess what? Inflation will keep going up. It doesn't matter. You're going to want to work. Can I get the time and a half for the fifth day of the week? You're going to need that fifth day and probably the sixth day to get into time and a half, get into double time, get into triple time. I don't know. But the point is, that's what they're going to go. And a lot of people will accept that. A lot of people want to do less, as we learned. And you will find a criteria of people who this will fit very well. And I can see if it's a family effort, husband and wife team, and it's easier for someone to have that 4 day work week equal to a 5 day work week program. So yeah, they're needed at home to do laundry and cleaning and pay bills or take care of children or go food shopping. Yes, I see something there. But to be perfectly honest with you, you're not getting more bang for your buck by any means. Not when the economy has no level, and it doesn't have a level. We're at the highest point now, and I said this for months because it's been a fact. We've always been at this higher level, and now it's even extremely higher. And you'll probably be paying over $5 a gallon for milk by the end of 2022. They're going to try to get things done, but these things are going to happen. I mean, look, we're already paying $16 a pound for a steak. I mean, there are things out there where the numbers are nuts. And then you have the threat that came right out of Joe's mouth. We will see food shortages. What is their plan? Why would you say that? Why would you put a fear like that? Actually, it's a death sentence to himself. Um, Even when the negative news allows a video clip with his mouth saying shit like that, uh, they're going to sit back and wonder what the hell, they all voted for too. And they should. I used to say it doesn't matter who you voted for at this point, and it doesn't. Not as long as you come to our side and you're willing to stand with us to fight back on this. We'll have an open format of a welcome for you. Everybody wants you to come in, join in, focus with us and fight back. But it's going to take a lot for these people to do it. And that's why they're trying to create these new work narratives and things, but also send you fair warning. So what does everybody do? If you like oatmeal, go out and buy oatmeal. Start getting it. Essentials, yes, probably. This came from Joe's mouth. That's all I'm saying. This came from Joe's mouth. And remember, they're not worried about how many trucks are out there. They are using new ground support tactics to get things moved around. They narrated all through it already. They already got all through it. Like I said, we'd have done better if we'd have went down but we didn't do it. We didn't do it, or just stayed home and said, I'm not working. See, it comes down to this. My theory is this: when they have no workers, they have no government. They have no income to the government. They have failure. And when they have failure, they have nothing but embarrassment upon them. If we were all just to stay home and finally say, let's either you shut or get off the pot, as the old saying goes, and you can't look at it any other way, you're not going to cure this freaking disaster. It's when every one of us and that works in every facet of everything that says, no, we're not working. Let the buck stop there. And I guarantee you there'll be nothing within the government to keep it going because they're not going to feed it. Their narrative of money is for the rich, and they're tying it all up. It doesn't matter how many trillions they have already stolen and lied to get, as well as a couple seats in the White House. That's all occurred. We know it. It's a reality. And we have to focus on the fact that it's not going to change. Nothing's going to change that element. Just in Pennsylvania, we had the Supreme Court shut down every ounce of proof that showed the corruption that occurred on November 3rd and 4th. And they shut it down. And this is the only place that's happened, even with people fighting a very strong fight for us out there, doing the best they can. Where is the success lying? Mike Lindell, God bless him. He spent millions of dollars he didn't have to defend Trump and to defend the election. And I take my hat off to him. I can't say enough good things about them. But where has it gotten anybody that challenged this mechanism? Brought them deeper into failure. When they take the president offline, of course they can take Mike Lindell offline. They can take you offline. They can make me shut my mouth by taking me offline. These narratives and facts are always going to be there. Nothing's going to change that. It's our motivations that will change things. And I swear, people, if you want to do this peacefully, where you can have your country back, we all have to do it at once, and we all have to do it together. And it has to be on government office levels as well. And knowing it might take some time, but we could defeat them that way because our government would fail and we could hold that longer than they can because we're strong, we're resourceful, we can communicate, even if it's just through a walkie talkie, and we can together succeed because when they no longer have money and there's no more greed to reach out for and nowhere where they put their implants of ideas and narratives in place to focus, when there's nobody out there to build these towers or erect these windmills, or nobody to serve sheriff papers, or nobody to respond for this kind of call or that kind of call, or and the world just suddenly ends in the United States, then they will understand the focus is within us and the strength is within us. The more we do for them, the more we keep doing for them, the more they're going to come down on us. There's only one way out of this that I see. And I know other people were saying, well, our military is going to come back. We're going to be at that point in time and place. I want to be so wrong here. I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. And I want it to happen. I do. But logically, there's no sense to it. There just isn't no sense to it at all. Because the more we keep going to work and doing the narrative, the thing, giving them the slavery tax, and that does come even in death, and then your kids pick it up after you die. Your kids are paying and their inheritance. Remember, it's a never-ending cycle. But when you stop every ounce of anything that they can do, they're dead in their tracks. Who are they going to pick up the phone to if there's no one to pick up the phone in the offices that they're calling? Who's going to go out and collect the garbage if there's no one out there to collect the garbage and we're burning our own garbage in our yards? So what? Call it uncivilized. It doesn't matter. There is a means and a method to this. And it can work. It can work. What will come out in 2022 that will change this entire event? Nothing. Even if we were to place people in political offices that can help us, will they, or will they become rhinos? Who's to know? Who can get to them? That is why I'm saying, in my mind, the way I perceive what I understand of this whole event is the less we do for them, the better off we are. The more we do for them, they're in control of the whole narrative and it won't stop because they know you fear saying no on a level such as this. This is of the highest platform, the highest magnitude that one could ever share to anybody and try to relate to it for all of you. But I guarantee you, when you can pick up a phone and not get anybody to do anything because America said, I quit. That's the deal, dude. That's the deal breaker. They have nothing. What are they going to do? They're going to call the one world order and nobody wants to work. We can't build containment camps to put them in. Nobody wants to build them. What are they going to do? Think about it. It's the only proper control mechanism that's peaceful. You have the right to say, I quit. You do. And the bottom line is this: success would come from it. And your jobs would always be right back where you are. And if anybody gets into these offices, they're going to protect you. They're going to let you get caught up. And they're going to restart our own financial system somehow, some way to kickstart everything back off. And that would be our way back into it. And it would happen. And it would be cheaper on us all. And we could then create an economical flat level that is where everybody can deal with it. Anyway, you keep those thoughts. That's the best I can tell you. Exemptions. That's another thing. I'm hearing, exemptions. I can get this. Let me tell you something. And I've seen this and just read some articles about these exemptions. This bullshit exemption shit. It doesn't work. It doesn't fly. I just watched a shitload of people in Pennsylvania lose their jobs. And I mean that, over this mandate, because the judge held it up. This is why I'm telling you, when all these freak, I want to swear so bad, would have to come in and see that they have nothing to come into, they couldn't control us. So we have to take a different use a different adjective, or in their case, a pronoun. It doesn't matter. Just utilize these measures that hurt them and harm them peacefully. Because remember, without you, they're nothing. As long as they have you in fear working, you're their slave. And that's never going to change. It's never going to come back to we, the people, of that paper that is ever so important. Because that paper was supposed to represent the people. And unless the people stand up for themselves, that piece of paper, you might as well burn it. It means nothing. Because you can change that paper and give it its own power if you desire to. And that's a fact. But these exemptions, what are they doing? And then religious beliefs. Well, yeah, they're tearing religion apart, aren't they? Because they knew that there was criteria of law that could protect people. Why do you think they're trashing that? Why do you think they're still enforcing it? Why do you think they're trying to penetrate the churches and change it to a one world order, a one world government, a one world religion? And remember, Obama said it himself. The great Joe, he said it. He said it. We're coming to a new world religion. What will they teach us? What will it say? Is it extraterrestrial? I'm just saying, of origin. What will we learn? What will they address? Do you want to be a party to all this? Yes, we want truth on all those facts and conspiracies as well. But do you want to be a party to this anymore? It makes you want to think. I mean, and you should think. And enough of us are there. The bottom line is people don't have the balls to stand up to do it. And most of the ones that may continue to work would be a failure without us around them. And that's the truth. And you think the draft's a joke? No, no. We're ridding ourselves, our own military, of thousands of troops, even as I'm speaking, are probably packing a few bags here and there in this country right now and out of the country over this exact mandate and our privilege of religion and beliefs of exemptions. They don't exist no more. This is a physical attack back on us, and it's stronger than ever. And America, we need a plan, and you need a secondary plan, and maybe a third, and that's the truth. Anybody got any questions here, man? While we're having so much fun. Trony Dotson, yes. Trony, what's going on, brother? Beth, yeah, just like the Holocaust. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that way. Don't you think we could stop it? We have the power of control to control this narrative. What would it change? We would deliver gas where we want gas to go. I mean, listen, when they outlawed whiskey, prohibition, if we go into that narrative, it was another government control mechanism. Hey, man, we can all make shine. We can all get by. We can all grow our own essentials and some pot essentials as well, I'm sure. Anything we want, we will still have. We need to cut this government out of the equation. We really need to cut it out. Nobody has the balls to talk about this strong enough. Maybe I do. I don't know. And I do. But the point is, does anybody else see anything that makes any goddamn better sense? Is there anything that makes any goddamn better sense? Because if we did it, maybe the rest of the world would follow. We used to be that example. We're not no more. You want to be the example back for Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, and all these other places who are out every weekend protesting, walking the streets, carrying flags. And by the way, keep this in mind, and I could share this to anybody. When these sons of bitches all went up and nailed, and it all looked like it was about Floyd, look at the yellow and blue scarves that every one of them had bowing to Ukraine and this particular mafia Nazi regime shit that they're got their heads all stuck up their butts from. You take a look at them scarves. What color are they? What color are they? Where are they right now? What is this whole narrative about? Look what they revealed to you. It was there in yellow and blue. What does that represent? I want you to go and look at that history up. Look at history up. And I have a picture that I could share. You guys can look. You can see it. You can see it, man. Man, they threw it in everybody's face and no one was looking. But I looked. Look at the scarf around everyone's neck. It said Ukraine. Ukraine, Ukraine. Get it? German, Ukraine. Nazi, get it? Ukraine. And that's not a joke. It's a freaking fact. I guarantee you I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. All right. Teachers want more money and less students in classrooms. Yeah. Energy drinks with messages like right to your face. Upside down crosses. It's that black can with the green writing that says has the three indicators on it, which means 666. Now, I'm not saying 666 is a bad number, but they're allowing you to believe and perceive as they want you to. These narratives of creation, as they do in symbologies that never end and it keeps coming. Billions from Trump is still unused. Keep that in mind. As we talked about earlier, if you just came in, didn't catch it, and I am Michael Anthony, Studio 10 Broadcasting, 10 o'clock talks. This is the night version, Friday of America in Crisis. So buy your food, your toilet paper, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You might be able to make a buck or two on it. But no joke. These are being presented in ways of shortages. And if you make some phone calls in the paper product industries, it's already starting to occur. They're preparing for something. And of course, remember, they needed to send most of your supplies, your essentials now over to Poland. Okay. And the parts of Ukraine. And I get that the people need things. I get that. Okay. But now we're starting to give our things that we need in America as we always do for our people. We always finish last. Do we ever come in first? We used to be first. But this corruption all took place in 1871, 1876. I'd have to mind blow my own self here on a bender. But right around there, when they sold America out to and integrated it to the corporate America. And now who runs the shit show? A Fed that narrates the economy through the likes and dislikes of the stockholders in Washington, D.C. and globally who control the narrative of how America will come out of all this. Smelling like roses, of course, but only for them. It'll never be for you. All right, so yeah, teachers, more money, more classrooms, and look what they're teaching. And yet they're making demands? Really? That's the best you got, huh? Nothing. They got nothing. Starlink internet costs. Now it's $710 for new customers up front. So you need $710 just to come aboard to the program. Wow. That's a huge payment. I mean, some people, they're fixed income. They're lucky they get between $700 and $1,200 a month. I mean, and this may be the only answer as they're shutting down 3G phones, and you believe these phones will still work. They're just killing the activation part of the feed through the satellite that comes to your phone and claiming it to be, of course, a different narrative. Let's keep getting them to buy $1,200, $1,400 phones. We'll tell them we got the big discounts, $500 today. Come to the store today. People go running. Well, I'm going to need this new phone. I'm going to get it. And it's unbelievable. And then you see 5 people in a family going into Walmart. Well, they're all walking through the store, looking down at their phone, texting. I mean, is this the new America? I mean, are you already transhuman in a way? Because, I mean, aren't we all? I mean, really, they're addictive. But that's not why we got addicted to these little machines that we find fascinating. It's because it's the information. Or, in some cases for people dating and more and all the other things that go with it. But that's where we are. That's where we are. One of the things that may come good to somebody, we already know that there's enough proof about everything that went on and the collusion against Trump. And now he is going back and suing every one of them. Durham also has asked for a little bit more time, pending some information that he is getting ready to expose. I don't know exactly what that'll be, but I have a pretty good gist. I just don't want to be wrong, so I'm not going to make a comment, but that's not over yet. There's a control issue there. I will say that. He's playing his cards as safely as he can. But Trump's going to be suing Hillary Clinton and more. And crime surges everywhere within the blue states. The numbers are never been higher than ever. And do you know, for the first time on record in humanity, deaths are higher than births. Yeah, they finally got us to that point. Is that the opening statement for the Agenda 2030? Could be. Might be that narrative that focuses all around it. So what's going on, people? I read a lot of things off today, gave some thoughts and so forth. How you guys feel about all this stuff? What do we do? What do we need? We have everything we want. You're right. I do. I mean, I get what you're saying. Could we be satisfied by not needing them and walking away to build a better America back by killing our government? Because you do. When there's no tax money coming in, when there's nothing building Social Security, things will fail. They will have to deplete it. But you know what? It's not like we can't start it all back and over again. They can't push us from our homes, even if you have a mortgage. We won't allow it. We will not allow it. And enough people, including our own military, then would probably wake up and say, I ain't in with all this. But right now they are, and they have to be. It's a forced ideology of thought. Man, and it has screwed America up. This is not the America that was established for us. This is not by any means. And we need to fight these people off, man. I wish I had some definite ways of telling people how easy this could be. The point is, nothing about it would be easy. And nothing would. And again, without dictation to anybody, nobody would care. If we shut our TVs off, nobody would care. I mean, who are they going to talk to? We could kill their feeds. We could slowly take down wires and different, we could be in our little nighttime criminal outfits doing things in the dark, the same as they do. The only things they do is when they do in the dark. And we know that. That's when the planes were taking migrants and illegals all over the country through the holidays, busted. So that was one adjective, one narrative. This last ordeal, $1.5 trillion, as if our leaders didn't know that they played in the dark and they passed it in the middle of the night. Nobody there. Passed. It's a disaster. Hey Jim, how are you? Mary Beth McCord's. Mary, you keep coming in. Now you're under a different name. Hello, Mary Beth. How are you? Yeah. So anyway, who has some thoughts? Don't let them take your guns. Listen, if nobody's working for the government, who's going to take our guns? You get what I'm saying? We all need to do this together. If we want success, we shut down America. You shut down America. Who's going to take your guns? You think Biden's going to come knock on your door? He's going to run for the hills. He's going to go hide. I guarantee you he's going to be hiding. All these people will. They won't know what's going to come next. They won't know what to trust. I'm not going to give anybody my gun, but I can only say this. It would take all of us. And it's a big step. And it would be a big objective. But I think we could do it. We really could shut them down. They'd have nobody to pick up the phone to dictate to a point. They would have their entourages. I get that. And they'd all be scratching their heads and their asses saying, how the hell do we handle this? When there's nothing to handle. When there's no one out there working. When we live in peace together and prosper to bring back America. And we could do that. But we all have to stop giving into them. We need to say no, stop, we quit. And if you quit, it shuts them down. There's no taxation. What are they going to collect? There's nothing to, what are they going to tax you on? Are they going to shut your power off? There's a possibility that could happen. Like they can play dirty like that. I get it. But who's going to shut the power off when all of us are part of that shut-off system who walked off and no one else knows how to control it? Just saying. We guard it. We stand guards around the stuff and make sure it continuously runs. And then we start infiltrating systems of where the essentials are most needed. Keeping people in water, keeping people in natural gas for their homes to heat, and keeping the electricity on. And then we'd have a different network of how we get the essentials to people. And remember, if you are the essentials, the important ones, we control the mechanism. It's when you say, I quit, but you go and you take over the workplace and control it for yourself. I guarantee you, what are they going to do? They can't do jack shit. And I don't see any other way of just getting out of this system that we're in. It's only going to become worse. They're going to narrate it through us. And I'll say this: I would say and they're promoting it a lot. I mean, Google promotes it, Facebook promotes it. The big stimulus. We're going to give it to the parents, or the ones of this color, or the ones of that illegal, or the ones of yeah. Well, you know what? The only way to stop the hell is to stop the hell. That's it. Give people the money. Doesn't matter. Give them a false narrative of a number that you created anyway. What good's it going to do when no one shows up to at work at the bank to try and help you get a mortgage? What good is it when all the real estate office people don't go out and show homes because they all just quit? What good is it? Look, we know how to get through this. And there's a strategy to it. And I have a long list, and I could give a lot of great definitions on how we could make great accountability to exist, even throughout it. But what it takes is everybody to say, no, I quit. And if they quit, they have nothing to gain from you. They have no control mechanism over you. And I guarantee you it would be a landslide effect that where on all levels, many people will join us and it will grow. It will get dark. It will get dark. But right now, when we all can be warm throughout the United States, going into this particular paradigm of the summer solstice and more, well, guess what? The best timing is now. Best timing is now. Give them nothing to control. Um, I know it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to pass around throughout the world. It's a lot to express. It's a lot to accept. But if you want it over with, and you want to go over everybody's heads, and even ones who want to be elected into positions, they crap themselves. They would all just America just quit. It's kind of like when Christmas wouldn't come. Think about it. It's a fact. Every child in America was disappointed to hear that, like, for some reason, we weren't going to have Christmas. Rudolph's nose didn't light up, or whatever other narrative or strategy you can come up with. It doesn't matter. The focus is we need to say no to them. The only way to say no to them is for everybody to say no together, because we could survive. We really could. And I believe then our own military would stand next to us, because they're not our military, they're our families. They're our families, and they want their homes back. They do. They want America back as bad as we do. Many are getting booted right now as we're online right now, and I guarantee you I'm not wrong. They're packing bags, losing their positions, losing everything, because they're not going to willfully say, "Go ahead, do the injection." I'm not. I'm not. I'm never going to do it. So anyway, grow our own food, teach our own kids. You're right, and bring the 1800s back into focus until it's all cleaned and cleared up. It may not be the best idea, but I'm still waiting here. I'm still waiting, the same as I'm still waiting for somebody to isolate C1NINE. It exists. Show me where, how, isolate it. Let's see it. Put it under a microscope. I want to look at it. Don't you? Don't you? I mean, truth of the matter is, look. I know it's a big objective, and I'm probably way off base here, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm talking fact here. Dan Bongino's not going to talk about this. Tucker Hanley's not going to talk about this. Oh God, I need a paycheck. I got to write a book. I need to sell stock. Fuck all you people, man. Or it's a money greed thing. The point is this: they're going to take us to the point where we don't have anything left anyway. That's the narrative. You want to save what you got and make credibility to it? You got to walk out. You got to say, I quit. It's all up to you guys. I'm telling you, you got something better. I want to hear about it. We're coming to the point. Best time is now. All I can tell you. Keep warm months. And when they have no control, they won't know what to do. They just won't. There's not enough of them to deal with us. Bottom line, just isn't. Doesn't that's on all levels. And we have enough people in the right places who will then, make sure the right things are in the right places in our hands. Believe me, there are people waiting in line ready to do this. Just we the people. Not prepared yet. No, no, just not ready enough for it. See more. Let's see more on. Yeah. I'm sorry. Don't pay on April 15th. I don't plan to. We used to start accounts. I can't remember what they were called. You put money in the bank. It was like a safe net. I can't remember what the freak they called. Anybody remember what they call them? Anyway, it was basically proof that you were willing to pay, but you just didn't want to give it to them because there was a disagreement of the funds. And in this case, it would be misuse of our government funds by abuse of offices and within of the government. So you would make up this fictitious account that would protect that money, put it there, but we can't even do that because we can't trust our money in the banks because we're fighting the banks. We're fighting the richest of the richest people in the world, and they are the banks. Um, yeah, we have to make money unimportant to them, kill their narrative. When money becomes unimportant to us before it becomes unimportant on their level to us, we destroy them. We freaking destroy them. And Gen W, you know that, man. I sit and talk to you. The UN is terrible. And remember who these yellow and blue scarves belong to. Don't forget what's going on there, everybody. Please don't. I enjoyed being with you guys tonight. Not a whole bunch of talk, not a whole bunch of opinions. I'm sorry for that. Maybe I just didn't do a good enough job. But the bottom line is we talked about a few things and a few narratives, and it puts some ideas in your head. There is a way out of it. We control it, but we only control it if we're all together. I'm not wrong when I've always said all for one and one for all, because this is where I knew I was headed. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Love you to death, man. Don't judge me. I won't judge you.